So let's see how we can convert some existing CSS in our ASP.NET Web Forms application to start using Sass. So here we've got a Web Forms application, and if we take a look at the bundle config here, we can see that it's referencing this bootstrap CSS and also this site CSS. So we're going to convert each one of these to Sass files. So let's start off now by looking at our site.css. So let's see how we can first manually convert this to a Sass file. So I'm going to go here and select everything, and then just copy this. And then we're going to delete this site.css. Next, we're going to replace it with a Sass version. So we'll add a new item here and head down to our Sass file, and we'll call it exactly the same as the CSS we've just deleted. Site, and we'll paste in the original content from the original CSS file. If we save this now, our site.css gets generated, and this has exactly the same content as our original CSS file. Next, let's take a look at changing these bootstrap files to Sass files. So let's just close the site CSS and site.scss. And first off, I'm just going to go and delete this bootstrap.min.css, because when we generate our CSS file from Sass, because I'm using the professional version of Web Workbench, we'll automatically get the minified version. And then I'm going to right click on this bootstrap.css, and I'm going to choose this option here, convert to SCSS. So by doing this, we're going to let Web Workbench do the conversion for us. So let's go ahead and do this. And we can see now the CSS file has been replaced by a .scss file. And underneath here we've got our bootstrap CSS. If I open this up and just hit save, we get both the bootstrap CSS and the minified version created. So if we run the site now, everything works as expected because our bundles.config is still finding the same files. It just so happens now they're being generated from Sass. So now we're basing our site on Sass, we can start to take advantage of some things such as color variables. So at the minute we've got our blue buttons here, and if we hover over them, they kind of go a darker shade of blue. So we're going to go and see how we can change this blue here to use a color variable instead. So first off, I'm going to open the developer tools here, and we'll find our button here. Let's just select this. And we want to find the background color for the unhovered state. So if we just scroll down here, we can find this button primary class, and we want to take this background color in a minute and turn it into a Sass variable. So let's just turn this off, and we can see our background button background turning on and off. So first off, let's copy this color value. And let's just head back to Visual Studio. So let's go and create a new Sass file here. And we're going to call this underscore colors. So again, because we've got this underscore here, we're not going to generate any CSS from that, but we're going to import it instead. So let's just add this. And we're going to get rid of this body style here. And we're going to create a new variable. We're going to call this variable primary color. And to start with, we'll set this value to the color value we just copied from the developer tools. So let's just save this. Now we can include this color Sass file in the bootstrap Sass file. So we'll go up here and just right at the start here, we'll go and import our colors Sass file. This will give us access to our color variable now. So now we want to go and find the class for the primary button. So we'll just find button primary here, and this is the class that's applied to that button. And we're going to change its non-hovered state here to use our color variable instead. So here we're just going to reference primary color, and this is currently set to the same value, so we won't see anything different. So we save this, and if we run it now, notice there's no difference here to the button. So let's go and change the color of this button by simply changing the color of the variable. So we'll go and change this color here. So let's say we'll just choose orange. If we run this now, we can see our orange variable has taken effect and our buttons turned orange. But if we hover over this, we can see that the hover state is still reverting to blue here, and that's because we haven't changed the hover color. So let's go and do that now. So here we've got our hover state for the button, and we're changing the background color here. So this is still blue. If I just Control and space, we can see that this is still set to blue. So we've got an orange base state and a blue hover state. So let's go and change this. So we're going to introduce a new variable here. And we're going to call it primary hover, and we haven't defined this variable yet, so we need to go to our colors CSS and define this primary hover variable. So we could set a fixed color here, or we could use one of the color functions. So let's choose the desaturate color function, and we'll take our primary color, which is orange, and create a desaturated version of it by 40%. If we run this now, we get our orange button as before, but this time if we hover over it, our new desaturated orange version is showing up for the hovered state. So that's how we can convert some existing CSS to Sass files and start to refactor our Sass to take advantage of some of the features of Sass, such as color variables and color functions.